Another live with me, Sha-day Johnson. Today, I'm so excited. Well, I'm always so excited, but I'm excited because we're going to be talking about your game plan to get your first or even your next coaching client. So I have broken this down into three, what I consider simple steps so that you can get started right away. But in case we're meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Sha-day Johnson, and I am the host here in the Paper Bell Society Facebook group, which if you saw last week, I gave a little teaser that the name of the group is going to be changing soon. That is coming probably this week at the latest next week. So I'm very excited about that. Um, but for now, it's the Paper Bell Society, and this is where we talk about all the behind the scenes tech tools that you need to streamline and automate your business. I am a tech strategist specifically for coaches because I love you guys so much. And so it is really one of my passions to talk about how to have a successful coaching business. So although I talk all about the tech tools because that is my lane. I always get questions about, well, Sade, how do I find clients? And, how can I actually make money so I can afford to buy your course, basically, about Paper Bell. So even though tech is my lane, I also know a lot about making sales because I'm an entrepreneur myself with an online business that has made sales. And I used to work one-on-one with clients, but now I've transitioned to offering courses and digital products and that kind of thing. But I still know a lot about sales, obviously. So I decided, okay, ask and you shall receive. I will go ahead and give you the info that I know about how to get your first client, because I know that's like a hard hump to get over sometimes, or it can like feel impossible on certain days. But I'm here to tell you that it's not impossible. It is totally possible for you to go from 0 to 10K, 15, 20, whatever your monetary goal is, revenue goal is, it is possible for you. So let me know if you are watching live in the comments. I would love to say hi and let me know where you're watching from. And someone already says howdy from Indiana. Hi, thank you for joining me. I bet you that's Marissa. Because I think Marissa is from Indiana. Let me know if I'm right. But if you are watching live, thank you so much for joining. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for joining. Definitely let me know you are here and make yourself known, make yourself visible. So first, step in your game plan to getting your first client in your coaching business. It's going to seem obvious, but you need to create your coaching package. And so a coaching package is synonymous with, your program. What do you offer? You need to have something to sell to people. That is, one of the first rules of business, right? So when you're creating your package, you definitely want to be specific when it comes to who is it for and what is the transformation that they'll be receiving. Now, I don't want you to get so hung up on this that it delays you actually selling because that's tends to be what happens a lot, especially if you're a new entrepreneur. I speak from experience. We kind of really, it's ultimately sabotage ourselves because we get so caught up in the details of things where it's really not needed. So the reason why I say it's not necessarily needed that you need to know every single detail is because it's going to evolve. I promise you, whatever you think you're offering today is going to evolve either a lot or even by a little bit as you work with clients. And the beauty of actually working with clients is that you're going to gain so much clarity that you had no idea was actually even possible because you don't know what you don't know. So even for me, when I got my first client, it started off with, whatever service I was offering at the time. And then as I worked with her and realized, oh, wow, you need this help too. You need help with this other thing too. We were both learning as we went, and so it gave me ideas for other offers or even how to just improve the current offer that I had. So your offer or your coaching program will evolve, but what's key right now in finding your next client is to have at least one ideal client in mind. Like you want to work with moms who are trying to lose weight if you're like a health coach, or you want to work with corporate women who are trying to start a business. Maybe you're a business coach. So you do want to have an ideal client and you want to have a transformation that you will be providing them through your coaching program. So if let's say you were that health coach helping moms who want to lose weight, your coaching package could be a 90-day program where you have coaching sessions where you're going to tackle maybe their eating issues, teaching them about nutrition and whatnot. So something like that. So it's like it's giving a clear transformation in what you're going to do and what period of time. That's all you need is for your first package. Now, I did give in my last week's live, I did give 4 types of coaching packages that you can sell. So if you are interested in that, you can watch that from last week. It's here in the group, but I've also posted it on YouTube. So FYI for that. So that's step one. The next step in your game plan is to start making yourself visible. And I promise you, whatever you're currently doing, if you don't have a client already, you need to multiply it by 10. That's maybe even 50. And I say that because, well, for one, I'm reading the book, The 10X Rule, right now by Grant Cardone, which if you are on my email list, you know that I emailed you about that yesterday. Yeah, on Tuesday. So read my emails. I actually give some information in there. But when you are first starting out, you may have dealt with visibility issues like I did, which come up in a lot of different ways. Maybe you might lack some confidence. Maybe you've had a bad experience in the past with trying to make yourself visible. Maybe it's all in your head, like it was for me. So you want to do what you need to do to get visible. Now, what does that look like? That looks like going live. That's literally the easiest way to make yourself visible. And if you are like cringing and can't possibly imagine yourself going live, I promise you it's easier than it looks. And I can speak from experience. When I hired my very first coach, it was in March 2020. And it took me until July of 2020 to gain the confidence working with this coach to do my first live. And you know what happened? Nothing. I survived. I literally survived. And no one showed up, but that's okay. But I did it and I actually had fun with it. And when it was over, I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that again. So I promise you, it's not as hard as it looks. Now, what do you talk about when you go live? That's a big question because that's what I didn't know. I was like, what do I even talk about? Now, if you're new to this or new to going live in general, the easiest first live to do, the easiest, doesn't even require any preparation. Literally go live on whatever platform you currently have an audience on. So that could be Instagram, that could be a Facebook group you've started, that could be your Facebook business page. It could be, I'm trying to think, where else can you go live? It could be YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. Wherever you have an audience, pick one platform, go live. And the first topic you can do is an introduction. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you serve? That is the easiest. You don't have to even worry about like, oh my gosh, I have to plan out, an outline of teaching something. It's literally, hey guys, I'm insert your name here, going live for the first time on, my profile. I wanted to introduce myself and tell you what I've been working on. I'm a, business coach. I'm a financial coach. I teach, or, I like working with insert ideal client here. And when you finish that live, what I want to make sure you do, and you always want to do this with every live that you do, is end with a strong call to action. And since you're looking for clients, your call to action is going to be, hey, book a discovery call with me. if this sounds like something, so what you're going to be saying at the end is, if this sounds like something you're interested in, if you need help with my health coaching, if you need help with my life coaching, if you need help with my financial coaching, that sounds like something you need, send me a DM with, and you can get as specific as you want with this, but the easier to call the action, the better. You can say, send me a DM with the word finances, with the word weight loss, with the word, whatever your cute little thing is, send me a DM or comment below, and I'll get you on my calendar, for a discovery call. A no obligation discovery call, because your discovery calls are sales calls. So it's where you're going to be basically meeting with that person to see if you're a good fit. One super important thing to remember is that not every person that you get on this sales call is going to be a good fit. And that is okay, because no call is wasted. I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot during those sales calls. That's also going to give you clarity. You're going to be able to practice your sales skills. You're going to test out what questions work, which ones don't work. You're going to be able to practice commanding a call, because, oh my gosh, I remember one of my very first calls years ago just kind of got away from me. It was like the person was just so overpowering, and it was just like, okay, who's hosting this call? So then it turns out, that person wasn't a great fit to work with me, which is okay. But I wouldn't have known or learned, about those types of personalities had I not gotten on that call. So my point is, um, one of the easiest ways to make yourself visible is to go live. Go ahead and conquer that fear. It's the beginning of the month, perfect time to say, hey, here I am, world. Here is what I do. Here is who I serve. And even if nobody shows up, you're going to save that live recording and you're just going to post it somewhere else. It's called repurposing content, because everything is repurposable, and you can post it, break it up into clips if you have the software to do that, or don't, and just post it somewhere else, or post it again the next week, in case you missed it, because we know how the algorithm is these days and doesn't necessarily show all of our stuff to everyone. So it's okay to post things more than one time. Now, you go live, right? That's great. Some other activities, I like to call them money making activities, that you can be doing to make yourself visible as part of this game plan. Um, I say this because it's what I personally did to find clients, and that was to network inside of Facebook groups. So you want to find Facebook groups that have your ideal client in them, because that just makes sense, right? You That's where your audience is. Um, and on the side note, if your audience or your ideal client is not on Facebook, maybe they're on LinkedIn, maybe they're on Instagram, basically this advice that I'm giving you will apply to any of those platforms. And so the advice is, you need to start showing up wherever your ideal client is. And in the beginning, it's so much easier to just pick one platform versus trying to show up on all of them, because then you'll get burnt out. And speaking from experience there, but let's say you're going into Facebook groups, and you are trying to make yourself visible, trying to find, who's an ideal client. One thing you can do is, when you're in those Facebook groups, there's always a search feature. And so you can search, let's say you help with weight loss, you can search the term weight loss and see who has asked a question about it, or who has asked, started a thread about it. And then you can just answer those questions as the expert. And so I know with Facebook groups, especially these days, it's kind of hard to get around all the rules about no promo, no this, which is so ironic to me, especially when you're in a about your business. And it's like, whoa, calm down. Maybe that's just me. It's like triggering to me. I'm just like, we're in a business group. Why can't we talk about our business? And I get that there are literal spammers, which that's not okay, but it's like, we're all grown here. If you're a spammer, you're a spammer, and we can just like kick those people out. But like, for the actual legitimate businesses, let us do what we need to do. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox. But Oh, what was it? Oh, yeah. So you want to go in and answer questions, because that's like the way to get around. Am I, you're not promoting, you're literally just being helpful to someone who needs help, which is the whole point of a Facebook group, right? It's building community. It's giving you a resource, giving you an area where you can get, information, get help with whatever that group is about. So that is, and what you want to do is you want to do that every day. Well, okay, Monday through Friday, I'll give you the weekends off, but you want to be in there every day responding to questions, especially if you find a good group that's actually active. That's going to be a bonus, because you need to try different ones, see where you fit in best. um, then you want to actually be making your own posts as well. So those could be, read the group rules, because like I said, they're crazy these days sometimes. But you can make posts based on the group rules to start conversations with people. So a lot of people get tripped up because it's like, well, I need to make a sales post, but you don't necessarily need to make a sales post. You just need to make posts that demonstrate your expertise and demonstrate that you are very knowledgeable in your coaching field. And this will start conversations. Then you can move those conversations to the DMs. And when you move those to the DMs, then you can invite them to a discovery call, sales call. So that's part of number two, which is start making yourself visible. You're going to go live. You're going to talk to people every single day. You're going to start building relationships. And that is how you're going to start gaining momentum in your visibility efforts. And like I said, whatever you're doing right now, multiply it by 10. I'm telling you, because if you're not getting the results you want, it's probably not that you suck and that nobody wants what you're doing. It's literally that you're just not getting it in front of enough people in order to see some sort of result. So the last step in this game plan, and then I see some questions are popping up in the chat, so I'll definitely get to those. But the last step is you want to make sure you set up the back end tech so that you can actually onboard your clients. So, I was going to throw in some sort of tech information in there, right? Because that's what this group is all about. But the thing is, you need to start doing your money making activities first, start letting those build momentum before you get stressed out about the back end. Because it'll be great if you make one post and oh my gosh, everyone responds to it and it's like, I want to work with you. Great. But generally speaking, that's not going to happen. So you need to start building that momentum now. So that way, in a month, 2 months, 3 months, you actually start seeing the results of you starting to be consistent starting today, August 2nd. It's top of the month, perfect time to start. And then don't fizzle out at the end of the month. Don't do it. You're going to keep going strong. So you want to set up the tech. And the easiest way to do that, in my opinion, is to use Paperbell. So with Paperbell, this is going to give you a way to easily receive payment as well as get someone scheduled on your calendar, whether it be for a sales call or because they've purchased your coaching package and need to schedule their first coaching coaching session with you. And it's also going to give you the ability to have them sign a contract and then manage them. So, they're going to have their own little client portal and you can, send them emails and all the things. So I highly recommend Paperbell. If you are not using Paperbell right now, you can get signed up with my affiliate link and get up to one client free. So Paperbell is a paid tool, but you can get up to one client free. My affiliate link is shadayjohnson.com/Paperbell. Let me get it up on here. Let me see. Here we go. shadayjohnson.com/Paperbell. You can start for free because once people start actually contacting you to say, hey, I'm interested in working with you. Where do I buy? Or how do I book a call? How do I book a sales call? You're going to be able to say, hey, here's my Paperbell. Well, you're not going to say Paperbell, but here's my link, which you get from Paperbell. And here's how you can book that call with me. You don't need a website. You don't need to create, some crazy sales page. You just set up your package information inside of Paperbell, get the link, share it. And all the while, you are focusing on those money making activities to make yourself visible. And boom, you have your first client. So let me look at the comments because I saw some questions come in. Okay, so this person says, could I make a call to action be to tell one friend about me? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that call to action. However, um, I would even make that uh I would, if I was using that one, I would make two call to actions. So what I would do is I would say, if you really enjoyed this live and you know someone who could benefit from this information, please go ahead and share this with them. Use that share button and share it directly to them, especially if you're on Facebook or something. It's so easy to literally share. But then your main call to action will be, and if you are interested in, my life coaching uh, services and how we can, help you sort your life out, or my weight loss services or whatever, then you add a comment down below to say I'm in, and I'll contact you, something like that. So I like that call to action, but I want you to add to it, because the point is to make sure people know they can get on the phone with you. And on the phone, I mean on Zoom. I'm assuming you're doing your calls on discovery calls on Zoom. All right. So let's see. Oops, hold on. I accidentally hit a star. I don't know what that means. My bad. Okay. So let's see. Some pages allow promotions 1 day a week. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so this is going back to promoting in Facebook groups. Yes. So you always want to just make sure you read the rules. Whatever Facebook group you're in, sometimes they do allow those. And I do like the threads. However, I think it's more valuable participate in those threads. That's totally fine, because it can, pique someone's interest. But I think what's more valuable is to actually be talking to people in the groups, whether it be about the topic that you're an expert on or just whatever topic was started, because then you start becoming known in that group. And then you start becoming known as the go-to person in that group for, XYZ or for X topic. So yeah, I'll participate in those promotions, definitely. But just make sure you're actually being active in the group, because remember, this is social media. So you got to be social. And someone says, hello from Cali. Hi, I'm in Cali. So good to see you. West Coast, love it. And then let's see. Question, do you add a coach client agreement to each of your packages? So inside of Paperbell, first of all, yes, you should be using a contract uh, for anything you're offering. I'm not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice. I'm just saying, from a business advice, you always want some sort of contract agreement in place whenever you're working with someone. And so inside of Paperbell, whenever you create a package, you have the option to upload a contract for that person to sign. So you could have one contract that applies to, everything you do, which is actually probably the easiest way to go about it. And then just every time you create a package, if you have multiple ones, just upload that agreement. So that way it can be signed. Highly recommend that. Because with contracts, it just and I have a YouTube video about this too. I wish I had the link, but you can just go to youtube.com/sha-day johnson04. And then I have a contracts video where I explain that contracts are so important because boundaries for they set boundaries and they set expectations of like what is going on, because you've exchanged money and now you understand like this is what this exchange is for. And then in that video I give a recommendation for a contract template shop that I really like. So look for that video on YouTube if you need one. Okay, so I don't see any other questions. So the last thing, my call to action. This is my call to action for this video. As you know, I always end with the call to action. Maybe you didn't realize that because I'm just so smooth with it. I'm kidding. But my call to action is, I don't know if you knew, but about a month ago, no, 2 months ago now, back in June, I hosted this challenge called the Back End Blueprint 4-Day Challenge, where I taught you the simple path to streamlining and automating your coaching business so that you could actually know the exact tools you need to use. It's not just Paper Bell. Of course, I talked a lot about Paper Bell, but I talked about my entire behind the scenes tech framework that I teach to my people, coaches. Um, and during the 4-day challenge, it's every day was like a short, value packed lesson. So that was back in June, and not everybody was able to, show up. We had great participation. I was so excited, but some people did ask, "Hey, can I get access to the replay?" Because I did take the videos down because I wanted people to take, quick action. So now it's available as a replay because ask and you shall receive. So let me actually share my screen really quick so I can give you details about it. It is $9 to get this back end blueprint replay. And let me just share exactly what's included when you purchase it. So, like I said, buy now for just $9. On day one, we talked, all right, I shared how to create your dream coaching program. So I talked about that a little bit during this live, but I dove even deeper into it in this, whatchamacallit, this challenge. Jeez. And then on day two, we talked about how to create a client onboarding workflow that you and your clients will love. Sorry, I just want to make this bigger. There we go. So we walked through all the steps in a client onboarding process and we learned how to automate it so it can save you a ton of time. Then on day three, I went through an exercise so you could actually pick your behind the scenes tech tools. So like I mentioned, you're going to learn the exact framework of tools, not just Paper Bell, that you need so you can sell your coaching programs to your dream clients and without the tech headaches. And then on the last day, I shared how to sell your programs while keeping up with your existing clients. I think this is so key because once you actually celebrate bringing in those clients, it's going to be amazing. But you might get to the point where you're like, oh my God, what do I do? I need to bring in more. But how do I balance the time of having to deliver what someone purchased, but still keeping up with um, promoting your business? So I gave you my little system for doing that. So if you want to grab the replay for just $9, you can go to shadayjohnson.com/BB replay, like back end blueprint replay. Let me get it up on the screen here. Here we go. So, and on your screen, you see the link. And I was rewatching these videos and, when I was setting it up, to be sold, and I was like, oh, this is such good information. It's funny because in the thick of it, when you're actually delivering it, we're all our own worst critics, right? And it's like, I mean, I didn't think it was bad, but I definitely, had some reservations sometimes. Um, and I'm working through those, trying to realize like I'm amazing, But as I was rewatching the videos, I was like, oh, this is good stuff. Like, you go. So I think you'll find it useful. So if you want to get your hands on that replay and have lifetime access to it, you can go to shadayjohnson.com/BB replay. So let me just double check the comments one more time because I think I saw something pop up. Let's see. Oh, okay. So question here is there, oh, that light is on my face. Sorry. Is there any way to duplicate the contract to another package within Paperbell? So yes and no. Let's say you have one package created already and you want to have another package that has maybe different details but has the same contract. There is a button inside of Paperbell that says clone package. So you would basically go to that package with the contract, click clone, and then you can leave the contract portion the same, but then change all the other details. So that's one way to do it. If you already have a contract, or I'm sorry, a package created, and want to, there's no way to just clone the individual package, which is what I think you're asking. But I'm sorry, there's no way to clone the individual contract, but you can clone an existing package, and that includes the contract. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh, good. You said, LOL, I think I will do that. Oh, wait, no, you said, LOL, I think we all do that. What are you talking about? What do we all do? I'm not sure what I said. I don't remember what I said, but we probably all do it. Um, all right. So, who's getting their copy of the back end blueprint? I did see some people did grab it, so that's exciting. If you will be grabbing it, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Wow, that's genius. Okay, so you didn't know about the cloning package? Love it. I love when I shed light on things. I am the paper ball expert, you know. I have a whole course all about it. It's called Power Up with Paper Bell. If you want additional information on that, this was not my original call to action, but might as well share it anyway. You can go to sha-dayjohnson.com/course to find out information all about my Paper Bell course, which I think is pretty amazing. If you look back here on this bulletin board, these are all the people who have joined so far. So I have only 3 blank spaces. That pen thing is in the way of the blank spaces because I'm like, oh, nobody needs to see those. But those are all the people who have joined so far. I've gotten some pretty amazing testimonials, and I'm like, wow, okay, you guys really like this. Awesome. I'll keep going. Oh, okay. So you were saying, you were talking about how we all second guess our work. Yes. Okay. Now I remember talking about that. We do. And, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because I do think it's good to be self-aware and, evaluate. But usually it's all in our head. Oh, and awesome. Cheryl, my fave, Cheryl. She says, yes, and I say this every time. I highly recommend the course. Thank you so much. Cheryl, your name is up there. So I can't tell where it is exactly, but it's up there. So, all right. Well, since that is all the questions, I will let you guys go. I try to, believe it or not, I try to keep these lives short, but I can talk all day. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's already been 32 minutes. Let me go ahead and let you go so you can eat your dinner, so I can eat my dinner. But thank you so much for joining me. Like I mentioned in the beginning, there's going to be some updates coming to the group. I'm very excited. I'm changing the name. We're still going to talk about Paper Bell, but it's just, it's evolving. Remember, I talked about how your package is going to evolve. The same thing is happening to me. As I learn more from you all, I get more ideas, I get more clarity of what I want to bring to the world, what offers I want to bring to the world, what kind of community I want to cultivate. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm excited about it. I thought of it. Well, I think it's an amazing name. And not that Paper Bell Society wasn't good, but this is just so much more juicy. So I will see you inside the group and at our next live. All right, love you. Bye.